So you know my theory about action movies is modern action movies suck because none of the main actors, like the men, know what they're doing. Right? So like Jason Bourne, he spends the entire movie confused. Who am I? What am I doing? What am I fighting for? Nothing makes sense. I have to find out who I am. Yet you go back to guys like Stallone and Schwarzenegger and Bruce Willis and who's the guy from Death Wish?
Charles Bronson.
Charles Bronson. Thank you, Matt. Charles Bronson, maybe more than any of them, he
Bronson's
knew
one of my
exactly
favorite.
what he was doing.
That was a
he was
man.
out for vengeance.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so like
They had clear purpose.
he had a clear purpose, and I think you have to excuse me, I'm kind of sick today. He knew exactly what he was doing, and all those guys knew. Whereas, like, I basically think these movies are an avatar for the modern man that we kind of don't know what the hell's going on.
Yeah. I think that's right. I think that's a pretty good take. The action movies of the 80s and 90s, and if you're doing Death Wish, that might even come out in the late 70s. I don't know. Not sure about that. But they were self-confident. They knew good versus evil. They knew who they were. They knew what side they were on and what they needed to do. And it's usually kill people.
And that crisis of confidence is basically like where the country is right now. Like since we filmed our first episode, which is yet to be released, lots happened.
A second attempt on America's president,
DJT.
former president and future president, Donald Trump Jr., a senior. Yeah, not yet.
Don Jr. not yet.
It'll skip Don Jr. and go to Barron. Like if everything goes according to plan.
Governor Don Jr. and then President Barron.
That's right. Yeah, another attempt at his life, of course. They're not gonna give up that easily. And then Hezbollah's pager bombs.
We were talking about that this morning. Imagine you're like
insane.
just checking out at a grocery store,
Yeah.
and then I don't know what can we call it to be safe on air. Your blows off.
Yeah, right at the midsection, right at the belt line.
Right at the belt line.
You were carrying a bomb. Also, like life's already bad enough. You're in Hezbollah, and you have a beeper, and a pager. Like you don't get a cell phone, you have a pager, and then a Mossad agent clacks it off right at your waistline. That's bad. Yeah, that's
Did you see the videos of these yesterday?
No, I won't watch that.
First off, the explosion isn't that big, so I don't know if these guys actually died. But there's a hole in their hip that's got to be the size of a grapefruit. It's huge, and these guys just go down. And then somebody had a video of inside the emergency room where they were all at. They're just, and it's not actually funny, because just dudes.
Kind of sounds like you think it is.
Just guys randomly blowing up, but the emergency room was just them writhing in pain on their sides. There must have been 60 or 70 of them just lined up in an emergency room with all just bloody hips.
Whoever transposed the telephone numbers for these pagers, I hope they got them all right. You'd hate to be the one guy that is like one digit off. You're an ER doctor, just like, out for a morning stroll in between surgeries and your freaking waistline blows up.
Yeah.
That would be bad. Hopefully they got it right. That's terrifying, though.
Can they do it to our phones?
Sure. Lithium-ion batteries, right?
But I originally thought it was they sent some signal to the phone to overheat it and it exploded. It sounds like they actually just intercepted the shipment of these pagers and then packed them full of explosive material, which is like even more ridiculous.
That's ridiculous. Wow. That's not how Charles Bronson would have done it.
No, he would have clipped every single one of these guys themselves.
Yeah, definitely. Stallone wouldn't have done it that way.
He wouldn't have done it. He would have.
This is a Jason Bourne move, and
yeah.
and I think that's the problem, right? It's a crisis of confidence. It's really the post 9/11 America.
Yeah.
We forgot who we are. We got hit in the nose pretty hard. Some would say it was from a foreign government. Others would say it was elements within our own government.
Wow.
That's a hard take. That's a tough one. I'm not going to defend that because I don't subscribe to that belief.
All right.
But not that it happened internally, but maybe it was allowed to happen. Sort of
Well,
like
what did
Pearl
they
Harbor.
say? Like going back to the Trump thing, what did they say about like it wasn't a conspiracy to hit Trump? It was like layers of apathy. When you stack up enough of those layers of apathy, that's when bad stuff happens. Like basically, if let's say your kid forgets to lock the back door to go to your backyard, and then like you're just like, oh, I don't care because the inner door to the kitchen is locked, but then your wife forgets to lock that door, and then you're like, oh well, both those doors are locked, so I'll just keep my safe unlocked. Those are layers of apathy,
Okay.
which basically can lead.
They stack up.
They just all stack up. That's kind of what we're talking about here with.
Yeah,
Not
the
to have a
Secret
hot
Service.
9/11 take, but
we go deep in this podcast. We go hard. hot 9/11 take. That was tough. I again don't subscribe to it, but yeah, layers of apathy. Like maybe sometimes like Pearl Harbor, it's like, hey, it would be better if we had this type of event so we could get in and duke it out with the Japanese Empire. I think that's proven now. I don't think that's theory anymore. I think they knew Pearl Harbor was happening, and they allowed it to happen anyway. I'm pretty sure that's confirmed.
But to what end?
And by confirmed, I mean
You read it.
the two most important sources, Tucker Carlson and Alex Jones.
Alex Jones. Yeah.
Maybe Wikipedia.
Wikipedia said it as well.
Sucks. It's lame. I'm not going to go on the
We-
Wikipedia.
I don't even know what
we don't have
where to
time
go with that.
There's not enough hours in a week to go down the rabbit hole on Wikipedia. But getting back, so Jason Bourne, it's like we had a Stallone Rambo, right? Or like what was Schwarzenegger's name in Commando, which is probably the quintessential action movie, is John Matrix.
Yes.
So you got a John Matrix, you've got a Jason Bourne, and then like the dichotomy. The only thing that I can explain why the action movies changed is 9/11. Like we lost confidence as a nation because we got hit in the nose. And what is our role in the post Cold War world? And if you think about Jason Bourne, and you were saying this, I think the other day, is that like he doesn't know who he is. He has these incredible skill sets, so he has like great powers. Doesn't know who he is trying to just figure that out, and in the process, beating the crap out of guys.
Yeah.
It's kind of like America. Incredible power, wealth.
Doesn't know how to use it.
We don't know how to use it. We don't know which way to use it. We often don't use it for good.
Right. So go like back to Commando.
Yeah.
Right. His daughter gets kidnapped. What was the name of that actress? What's her name?
I can't think of it, but
Anyway,
I know who
his
you're
daughter
talking-
gets
Alyssa Milano.
Alyssa Milano.
Yeah.
His daughter gets kidnapped, and what does he do? He has that. It's probably like the most iconic scene in an action movie. He just loads up on guns and knives and the face paint, and he just goes in there and he just whoops ass for 45 straight minutes and just murks all these guys.
Yeah.
He knew what he was doing.
He knew exactly what he was doing.
Whereas
Jason Bourne, oh, where am I? I'm floating in the ocean. I've got a gunshot. I know I can run flat out for 30 seconds before my hands shake. He's a total beta. First of all, I don't want this podcast to turn into just me crapping on Hollywood people, but I
That's
can't
all right.
stand them. And Matt Damon's right up at the top of the list of people I absolutely cannot stand.
why?
Like I said, I don't want to go down that rabbit hole right now. Maybe that's episode 3,
Right.
teaser about how Matt Damon is just the worst action star and fat. He's a fat face.
Yeah.
And I don't like that either. As a man who's got a fat face now.
Okay. They're two friends. One is Ben Affleck. One is Matt Damon. Damon has clearly had the more like popular, successful career. Probably his movies make a lot more money.
You didn't love Daredevil with Ben Affleck? Didn't he do a Batman movie?
Yeah.
That no one ever
he
saw?
did a couple of them.
Oh,
he was
that's
Batman in a couple movies.
That's embarrassing.
Who would you rather be, though, as an actor? Ben Affleck or Matt Damon? I think that's an easy choice.
I'd rather be Ben Affleck.
I'd rather be Ben Affleck.
But why?
He doesn't...
My gut immediately was like Ben Affleck. He's tall,
Yeah.
dark hair, not a short, sort of like fat face guy. Matt Damon, big head, fat face.
But Ben Affleck
Stubby
also,
fingers.
he also kind of plays the more kind of alpha characters where Matt Damon, his action movies, he's like,
Who am I?
yeah, who am I? He's kind of weak,
Yeah. Yeah. What's the best Ben Affleck movie ever?
It's The Town.
Yeah.
It has to be
yes,
The Town.
You're right.
It's like he directed
I'm
and
just
acted.
throwing meatballs over the plate and you're taking them yard. Yeah, The Town.
The Town's another one where those guys had like they were the bad guys, but they had a totally clear mission.
Were they
of
guys? Robin Banks,
Robin
insured
Banks.
money,
they were
FDIC insured
I think,
money. They
like,
weren't
I-
stealing. They're Robin Hoods.
I think the point of
No, they were
like
bad
saying
guys.
your money is insured is to show them that they're not evil. They're just
Yeah.
kind of like trying to, they're just doing what they know,
Yeah.
but they're not. They don't hate people,
Yeah.
right? They're there
weren't
to take
wasting
the amount-
civilians
Right?
out
They weren't
there.
wasting civilians. They didn't have to. In fact, they let that one woman go.
Yeah.
Which ended up being like a whole
The
sort of
love interest.
love
That
interest
was
inside of the movie.
that was an interesting
But like
take
in that
on it.
movie, those guys they had a mission. They knew exactly who they were, and they weren't messing around.
Contrast that. They let the bank vault lady go, bank teller go. Contrast that with dragged across concrete. That is so bad when they just waste that new mom.
Yeah.
It's like first day back from maternity leave. Just blow her away. But that's an illustrative of the dichotomy. Those are some big words.
Wow, big words.
I don't know what they mean,
All right.
but I need an audio dictionary that just says words and says them and says the meanings. Because like we discussed, I can't read. But those are big words that I've heard. But that's an example where Dragged Across Concrete is old school, like that's like pre 9/11 thinking.
But it was made after that.
I know,
right?
and that's what I'm saying. It's like weird. It's
like the last vestiges
But
of-
that's why we like it so much.
Yeah.
Because that movie now is rare.
Is that the one with Mel Gibson and
Vince Vaughn.
Vince Vaughn?
Yeah, it's the one you obsessively told me to
so
watch
good.
for years, and then I watched it.
That came out like a couple years ago.
Did it?
Yeah, that's
they're
like
both
a-
cops, right? And Vince Vaughn plays like a 1950s kind of cop, and the whole like the all the dialogue is very like affected, and it's not real talking, but they talk like men.
Yeah.
You know, it's another good one I told you about. I don't know if you watched it. Is Land of Bad. That's
That
another
one I have not seen.
It is a total throw. This is one of the biggest movies I recommend right now. Is Land of Bad. It is absolutely a throwback to this movie could have been made in the 90s with Stallone or Bruce Willis or maybe even like not Schwarzenegger but like one of those kind of guys. So like I'm watching it and I'm like I'm gonna give it a few minutes to see what's up. And there's a line in there, I think I told you this, where I knew immediately I'd like this movie. I don't want to give it away because people should 100% watch this movie. This guy's alone in the woods. He gets separated from his special forces team, and he's talking to a drone operator up in the sky. And the drone operator is trying to calm him down a little
Is
bit.
Russell Crowe the drone operator?
He is. Russell Crowe's in it. He's about 300 pounds.
Good.
I don't know if that
That's
was
his best weight. That's his ideal weight.
That's what he's. I don't know if that was like a choice. This character had to be fat
Or
and
he's just
schlubby.
like, I'm not losing it.
He's just like he spends 90% of the movie in a chair.
That's perfect.
So there's no action. He
Yeah,
can just
yeah.
Be huge.
He's just huge.
And he's trying to calm. It's Thor's brother, who's
Like
who's
Hemsworth.
Liam Hemsworth. Okay. And Crowe's trying to calm him down a little bit. And this is the moment I knew this movie was going to be an all-time classic. So Crowe starts asking him like, "How's your family? Like, where are you from?" And it turns out they were almost neighbors wherever they were from. I think it was Ohio. And Russell Crowe,
Springfield, Ohio.
Yeah, Springfield, Ohio. He's fought in the first war to save the cats and dogs. And Russell Crowe goes, "So you close to your dad?" In a modern movie, the answer would have been, "No, my dad was a total piece of crap.
Yeah,
and I
drunk,
hated him.
abused me."
Drunk, abused everybody. I joined the army to get away from him, to show him he can't control me." Instead, what Liam Hemsworth says, "My dad is my biggest hero. I joined the military because he was in the military.
Yeah.
This made him proud. He died last year. I went back. It was the saddest day of my life."
Yeah.
So that moment, I knew this movie was going to be great because it wasn't just crapping all over dads.
Yeah.
And the rest of the movie is outstanding.
I gotta watch it.
So good.
Gotta watch it. It's funny how that's countercultural now in this post 9/11 Hollywood cinema thing that we're kind of riffing on right now. That's countercultural. Is like the most basic instinct, which probably the majority of
Humanity.
gets like, well, my dad's my hero, right? That's the norm. But you're right. In Hollywood, the norm is the opposite.
Yeah.
Because Hollywood likes to destroy and deprecate and subvert. Yeah. But now countercultural is going back to like actual norm, like the the average American situation. Like that's now counterculture. It's like, whoa, that's edgy. Guy likes his dad.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, his dad, he loves his dad, and that's weird. I don't want to go too far down this particular rabbit hole, but
We got a lot of rabbit holes. We got to
rabbit
investigate some of them.
yeah, some of them have to get fleshed out.
My wife always says rabbit trail. She's like, I don't want to go down this rabbit trail. I'm like, it's rabbit hole.
Wow.
What? You can't get that one wrong. You got to get that one
Gotta
right.
get that one right. I heard a theory, and I think I like it, that for 20 years, while predominantly the right was like focused on the global war on terror and making sure that all these wars get appropriate funding and that we support these like endeavors to kill these bad guys, that while we were doing that, the left was infiltrating all of these different like
Every institution.
single institution
Decaying it.
and like to me that is almost like it points to your post and pre 9/11 worldview about why things changed. Well, how did they change? It's because we had our eye off the ball. We stopped talking about culture, stopped talking about making sure there was good art in the world, good movies, good TV, and we were focused on this one singular thing to the detriment of everything else getting basically overtaken.
Yeah.
That to me makes a lot of sense.
That's right. I think that's right. That's tough. That's a tough pill to swallow.
It is a tough pill to swallow, 'cause it's-
on a morning.
Yeah.
An early morning.
Yeah, because basically we just took our eye off the ball.
Yeah, you're right. Took our eye off the prize, and we shouldn't be surprised.
And now that all those
when the
wars
left
are-
has subverted, thank you, Matt, for that word, subverted all our institutions. I mean, it happened in academia forever.
Yeah.
Academia.
We didn't really care about that because, like, what's the percentage of people that go to like college and grad school? It's small.
Yeah. Yeah, it's small. Yeah, we didn't care about it, but to our own detriment.
Yeah, and now
That is a institution of power. It's like one of the predominant ones, actually. It's like corporations. The fact that the right lost corporations and lost the boardrooms or whatever you want to call it, the S&P 500, the big guys, the fact that we lost that is terrifying. Like,
Yeah.
we really did take our eyes off the prize. And it's because there was plenty of canaries in the coal mine, the trans stuff. I mean, we were talking about the transgender stuff. I was like,
you were talking about it in like 2009.
way before anyone
Yeah.
was talking about it. And I'm not prescient or, man, I'm knocking it
Big
out of the
words.
park with these
Wow.
words. I don't know what it means, but good word, $5 word. It's not that I was just like, I was thinking like, what are they going to do next? Where are they going next? Who versus? Where's the fight?
Where's the fight?
Where's the fight? That could have been the other name of this. Where's
Yeah,
the fight?
where's the fight?
That'd actually probably be a better name. Starting episode 3, Who versus will
New name?
become Where's the fight?
Where's the fight?
With Phil. Can I say your last? We're not going to do.
Keep looking at
no
it.
last names. Well, you're
No
famous.
names.
You're already famous.
Yeah.
No names over the net. But I knew they were going to take it there because it's like the theory of entropy. It like things go from order to
Jeez, dude, would you
to
read a
chaos.
dictionary this morning?
It says coffee. I don't know what's in it, but I am zooted to the
Smells
rafters.
like bourbon.
I hate bourbon. It would never be that. That's a hot take.
You
On
hate
the right,
bourbon?
I hate bourbon. I don't like it. I've never liked it. I pretended to like it for like upward mobility to make it in this town. I hate bourbon.
So you're saying your entire upward career was based on you
A lie.
pretending to like
A lie.
a lie.
An absolute lie. Like I was even in like this
So you pretended to have original thoughts.
Yes.
You pretended to be able to read.
Yeah.
You pretended to like bourbon. That's the
I'm living a
triangle
lie.
of your career.
if we learn one thing from this experiment in podcasting is that I am the most dishonest human alive. I live a lie.
Oh, you're perfect for podcasting, dude.
I was gonna say that's actually maybe I should be on like cable news. Like
Yeah.
those people are all living lies, or politics.
Yeah.
Actually, politicians they're all living a lie. Like Tucker, and I hate to just constantly throw away to Tucker, but he's probably the most important cultural force on the right now, I would say. Well, Donald Trump, but like that's political. I mean, like culture. And he's like, all of them have creepy, weird lives, like secret, creepy, weird lives. And he says, like, I could smell them.
Yeah, he's got
I can
this
smell
weird
that they're
thing where he can
creepy.
smell their,
It's like a
their
weird
creepiness.
dog thing. I wonder if he actually believes that, or that's just kind of he's putting us on an affectation, if you will.
That's 4. We're gonna keep track of James's $100 words.
We should be ding. We can do a counter in here.
Get a gong.
But he's right. Like these, it's not just politicians.
not-
Like we probably concentrate weirdos in DC that are like, you know, self-obsessed and want power hungry, but it's everywhere. I think
sick right
everyone's
now.
got creepy, weird lives. It's not like skeletons in the closet type stuff. It's not just DC. I think it's the corporate boardrooms. I think it's everywhere. We got a lot of creepy people, and I can smell them.
like a dog.
Like a dog. He's constantly talking. Like, you can't smell that. Maybe he can. Maybe his nose, his olfactory sense, ding.
Okay,
Is
well-
so heightened because he lives out in the woods of Maine and he's not breathing in like car fumes all day. Maybe he can smell.
I think there is a
when
sixth
people
sense.
lie.
Like you put, okay, here's an experiment, and this has been borne out many, many times. You take like a 6-month-old baby, brand new to the world, and you put 2 pictures side by side. One of a person who is considered like conventional, like you put, I don't know, who's a famous model, Heidi Klum or Selma Hayek or whatever on one side.
Kate Moss.
Kate Moss.
How many dated model references can we? Janice Dickinson. Cindy Crawford.
Cindy Crawford.
Still got
Cindy
it.
Crawford. She's still got it. She's 130 years
from
old,
the
but she
Midwest.
still got it.
Oh yeah, Kim Basinger.
Kim Basinger.
And she was related.
matter.
She was married to
years
Alec
ago.
Baldwin.
Yeah,
so-
we don't talk about
All right,
her.
That's getting edited out. Don't pipe up.
Yeah. So you take one of those models,
Yeah.
beautiful, and then you take just like it's like a total dog.
Rosie O'Donnell.
Rosie O'Donnell.
We're still punching down
dude,
on
we're-
Rosie. Trump set the tone.
You can punch down on Rosie,
Yeah.
or any just other like unattractive man or woman on either side. The 6-month-old baby will always gravitate towards the more attractive.
Is it
baby-
facial
it's
symmetry?
There's something there. It
Yeah.
could be symmetry. It's something.
Yeah.
Like there's something in us where we can just sense
instinct.
Like it's like a survival thing.
Like
You
I think
can
it's
sense
not. Yeah, I think it's
beauty
not just
and-
your nose.
No,
I think it's your eyes, your nose, your ears. I think they all, in your gut, I think is all informed our judgments by all those senses. And so it is like a sixth sense, but really it's like all the senses working together is like, I don't trust that guy.
Yeah.
Because we all get it. We all get like tingle on the back of our neck when something seems off and something seems not right. I think it's all the senses working together, but I like how Tucker just like goes in on the nose. This is all about smell.
Weird.
You know what? Do we go back to movies? This whole thing can't be about a movie
creeps?
podcast. Smelling
creeps?
weirdos, just smelly liars.
What do we got?
Well, what else do we got? We don't have much.
We don't
which
really
is
have a
like-
lot.
Which is
There's not a lot going on
my
between
gosh,
either
the
of
bourbon
us.
thing. Yeah, I was even in like a little like informal club that was like the Brown Water Society or something. And
gosh.
I was drinking bourbon. I was like, I hate this. I do not enjoy this. It is too sweet. I just don't like it. Of all the liquors, I don't like bourbon.
Yeah, but isn't that kind of normal? Like you do stuff you don't like. It's social at the end of the day. Like you
Yeah.
were doing it for it to be social.
Yeah. I
Like-
should have been honest though.
Like,
I don't like this stuff.
I'm in a softball league and a soccer league. I don't particularly like either,
Yeah.
but I'm doing it with friends from church.
You're
So
living a lie, dude.
I am living a lie.
It's
And
time to.
it's not just there.
It's time to be honest. It's time to come out. Phil, now's your chance.
Can't do it. Can't do it.
You're still deeply closeted anti-soccer, anti-softball. That's what I'm talking about. I don't know where you were going with that. Remember Stallone when he came back and did Expendables? In the
Yeah.
Expendables movies, and it was kind of recapturing.
It was campy.
It was camp. That's where I was going to go with that. It's campy. Like, it just didn't work. 80s and 90s, like you said, you can't fake it. They were self-confident. They were self-confident in their heroes. And now we have, like, anti-heroes. The Joker, perfect example. That guy's like an anti-hero.
Yeah,
With
that's why he's popular.
Joaquin Phoenix,
Yeah.
however you say his name, Joaquin. He's an anti-hero.
He did a great. Speaking of confidence, he did a great movie. You and I have talked about this movie a lot. You Were Never Really Here.
I never saw it.
You never saw it?
No, doesn't he hit people with hammers?
He's like
Isn't that?
he's like a GWAT veteran, and he's got like PTSD. And his whole thing is he works for a lawyer who, I think it's been a while since I've seen it. He helps parents find missing kids, and he finds these creeps who kidnap kids, and his only tool is a ball peen hammer.
Oh.
And he goes into these like houses where they're keeping these kids, and he just mashes these dudes with a ball peen hammer, just tortures the hell out of them. And he brings the kids
Wow.
home safely. So the whole movie is like just following him, like saving the kids, dealing with what he's just done and his PTSD. And he goes out and he just ball peens more guys, saves more kids. That's the whole movie. That is like the most like reduced. I know what my purpose is.
Yeah.
And it's like he's conflicted about it, but at the same time he understands there's like a greater purpose to it. Like that's to me that's an action
What
movie.
was the name of the movie?
I think it's called You Were Never Really
They
Here.
should have called it, you know what they should have called it? Hammer Time. Like, just do it on the nose. Hammer Time. And they could have had like an MC Hammer
Coulda had MC
theme song.
Hammer.
Like, the marketing kind of writes itself. Hammer Time.
They really
Stop.
should have called you.
Stop. Hammer Time. That could have been their thing. That's
Yeah.
why I never saw it. It had bad title. You Were Never Really Here. Is that what he tells the kids? Like, this didn't really happen to you. Don't worry about it.
No, I don't know.
I don't like when titles don't make sense.
You want the title in the movie?
I want, yeah, like all bands' albums should be self-titled. It's like, I'm Led Zeppelin, and this is my album, Led Zeppelin, and my smash hit single, Led Zeppelin song.
So you're saying in Rambo, what was where he goes to Afghanistan?
First Blood Part 3? Rambo 3.
Rambo 3.
They've gone back and renamed them.
The hell they have.
Yes, they have. So the original movie was called First Blood.
Right?
Not
And there's
Rambo.
First Blood Part 2.
And then it was First Blood Part 2, Rambo 3. They have now gone back and sort of they're kind of doing a psyop on us. They now call it Rambo : First Blood, I believe. And
Rambo has a name now.
First Blood Part 2, and then Rambo 3, and then the other Rambos.
You and I
It
saw
was called First Blood. That was the name.
You and I went to the theater to see the last Rambo that came out. I think it was the last Rambo.
Believe
where
so.
you don't know if he dies in the chair at the end or not.
Yeah, that's
should
right.
they have made that movie? Like when should they have ended Rambo?
I don't know. I mean,
After 3 in Afghanistan?
probably after 3.
Because 4 was actually the one
He
in
was
Vietnam.
the boatman.
The boatman in Vietnam was pretty awesome.
Or he's like Cambodia or Laos.
Cambodia,
I don't
yeah.
think it's Vietnam, because Vietnam is First Blood Part 2, where he goes back to look for POWs.
No. I'm talking about the one where he was the boat
The
captain.
boatman. Yeah. I'm tracking.
You're tracking, all right.
Yeah. I'm saying it couldn't have been Vietnam, because Vietnam was
Oh, that's right.
First Blood Part 2,
Yeah.
where he goes to look for the POWs, which has one of the greatest ending scenes of all time. where he's like, Murdoch. He grabs the mic when he's being tortured by like
yeah.
the Spetsnaz. And he's like, come in, Raven the Blackbird or whatever. And he's like, Murdoch, I'm coming for you. And then he smashes the dude with the mic.
Oh yeah, and then he
the
just
radio
takes his gun and just shoots.
And
the,
then yeah,
radios.
he comes off like the helicopter, crashes and burns back at like the secret CIA base, and just blows away the supercomputer that had less computing power than
My phone.
than this phone, and it took up an entire room.
Yeah.
He just blows it away, and then he sticks the knife in. He's like, "You know where they are. You know how many there are. Find them, or I'll find you." And then as he's walking away, Colonel Troutman is like, "John, like, where are you going? How will you live?" And he's like, "Day by day." So good. So good.
I thought that line was in the first Rambo. That was in the third one.
No, it's the second one.
Second
First
one.
Blood Part 2.
Part 2, right?
Where he's, how will you live? Day by day.
Great ending.
That's all you really can.
They should have
live.
ended it after the one where he's the boat captain.
Yeah.
That was like when he's in
The
in
tunnels.
Texas, the tunnels.
Like the narco tunnels.
Yeah, that was a bad one.
That was weird.
That was not good.
It was kind of cool.
And also, Rambo can't die. Rambo's one of these characters that has to live forever.
right. Yeah, he's timeless.
He's timeless.
Yeah.
Okay. This is maybe a tough one. If they had to this is the problem. Like, this is why I hate
Are you going to say if they had to
if
recast?
they had to recast Rambo?
boy.
Maybe you don't. But this is why I hate CGI and these like de-aging things.
Yeah.
Is like you either stop making these movies or you recast it, like they did with Indiana Jones, that new movie, which
Yeah.
is just total, just trash.
And what was the
This is
one
a-
with De Niro, the Scorsese one with De Niro?
The Irishman.
The
So, yeah.
Irishman. They de-aged De Niro.
Yeah.
But he still walks like
Right.
Joe Biden. He's like all
Remember that
stiff
scene
and
where
like
they
Parkinson-y?
de-aged De Niro's face and he's like beating up a guy on the street?
Yeah.
He's kicking him, but he can't lift
He
his
can't
arms
lift his.
because of his
It's
arthritis.
so ridiculous. Yeah, I hate that. You can't recast Rambo. Just like when they did that weird Terminator one, and they tried to like create a new like Terminator character. Well, Christian Bale was in it.
Yeah.
And then they had some other guy who's like a TX or a T1000 or whatever. It's like, no, it was a thing. It had its time. Speaking of Death Wish, you can't. There's no more Charles Bronsons. We don't make them anymore.
Yeah.
Like America does not churn out Lee Marvins and Charles Bronsons anymore. They
Think
don't
about-
exist.
Charles Bronson, like his appeal was he was so normal. He was
He
like
was
one
a
of
normie.
us. You know
Like
what I mean?
Kind of a trashy mustache, like
Yeah.
Paul Kersey. I can't really do a Charles Bronson impression, but he's like, "I'm an architect. Don't you get it, idiot?" And then he just like takes out punks.
He was normal, but then he just went ape on these guys.
Yes.
And that's why those movies were great.
Right.
What about actually going back to movies that were like that? You ever seen Gangster Squad?
Yes.
Dude,
Oh,
that movie.
That movie was awesome. That's part of the weird new right Ryan Gosling thing. The
Yeah.
obsession with Ryan Gosling.
It was a little affected with how they did like the characters. It was almost like they were trying to make it too much like post-war America. So it was like there was
Yeah.
a bit of a shine on it.
Yeah.
But that movie, I'm watching it right now. So good.
It's a really good
So
one.
great,
Who
man.
else is in that? Brolin?
Holy dude, that movie is stacked. It's
Yeah.
got Sean Penn, James Brolin,
Or
the
Josh Brolin? James.
yes, Josh Brolin, not James Brolin.
J
it's two-
something Brolin.
Yeah, Josh Brolin, the little guy you just mentioned,
Gosling?
Gosling. It's
else?
got the new Captain America fella.
Oh, what's his name? It doesn't matter. That guy
And speaking
sucks.
of Terminator,
that guy sucks.
it's got the original T-1000, who's the metal shapeshifter.
Yeah.
But it's got him as a cop who's like an old West type cop.
Awesome.
And he's past his prime, but he can still gunsling.
he's got like a single action revolver. Just he can still do it.
And he's got this little Mexican fellow that works for him, and like is his sidekick. And he's
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, I work with him because nobody else will."
Good for
Dude,
him.
that movie is great.
For him, that's DEI. That score must be off the charts. No one else will work with him, but he does.
He will, yeah. It's a good movie.
You know another. Okay, so this is a movie podcast now.
Today's
Let's
movies,
just
man.
embrace it.
It's just-
Just embrace it. The Highwaymen with Costner.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was good. That was like a Netflix original, which
Yeah.
I won't go to a cinema again, like a theater.
You don't want to?
I won't go anymore because the good stuff is either the only original stuff out there is like Amazon Prime originals, Netflix originals, and YouTube content.
You don't miss the.
Tell me I'm wrong.
You don't miss getting a ticket for a theater, getting some popcorn, a drink, seating down. There's like 80 other people in the theater with you. Lights go down. You see some cool previews. Then you've got this huge screen in front of you. Like to me, I loved going to movies because that was like an experience.
Yeah, and now it's that what you just described costs $700. Okay, maybe not that much, but
No,
like
it's not
you
cheap.
could go to a matinee back in our day when we were kids for like $3.
Yeah.
Now it's like the ticket alone is expensive, $12 maybe.
Chinatown movie theater is like $20.
The Regal
to
there,
go to
yeah, and then
a late
like
showing.
the popcorn is $80 for
And it's garbage.
It's gross, and it'll get you.
It'll get you.
Ask Kelly Means, he'll tell you.
Yeah,
The popcorn butter, that's what gets you.
not real butter.
It's not real butter. It's chemicals.
Yeah,
Seed oils. Those dreaded seed oils. Yeah. Highwaymen was great. Costner as Frank Hamer, legendary Texas lawman.
During that scene where Costner goes into the gun store and he just like
Any
starts-
gun guy, that's their favorite thing
That's
ever.
the best scene in the whole movie.
Yeah. Like, give me one of those. 17 cases of ammo. Give me the BAR. The 12 gauge auto. That's like so awesome. Give me that rifle with the scope with a good glass. Like, that is a great scene. Like, I don't know what gun guy wrote that in and how it got through the process, but that was like for gun guys.
It's almost like they were
by gun guys for gun guys.
You know what? It's almost like they were channeling. You know this guy really well. Wrote Red Dawn.
Yeah,
wrote,
Milius.
Milius. Like
It was very John
channeling
Milius.
John Milius. Yeah, like that had that vibe to it. Of it wasn't
wonder who
like
wrote
it
that
wasn't
movie.
super sexy. It wasn't
Yeah.
just crazy, but it was like very normal.
Yeah.
and like how somebody would do it.
Yeah.
It was like very very normal.
Yeah, it was very normal, and he was a professional. He knew what tools he needed to get Bonnie and Clyde. He just went in and ordered it like you and I would order a sandwich.
Yeah.
You don't eat sandwiches,
I
do
don't
you?
eat sandwiches. No, not in the middle of the day.
Not in the middle of the day. What? When do you eat
I'll eat a
sandwiches?
sandwich at night.
At night?
Yeah.
Like dinner or like post
I'll have a
dinner
dinner
snack
I'll have
before?
a dinner sandwich. Yeah,
A sandwich for dinner. See, I think dinners have to be hot.
you get a meatball sub.
That is a good hack.
Yeah.
That's well done, sir. If you could eat any sandwich right now, what sandwich would it be?
Right now,
what
like-
sandwich would you be if you could be a sandwich? That's the real question. That's what the fans want to know.
Okay, right top of my head, I don't want to make a case for myself. I'm gonna go like
Meatball.
Well, I just said meatball. I might do something like chicken parm.
Chicken parm.
Yeah, another hot sandwich.
Italian beef.
It's a good one with the dip.
No. Well, yeah,
no
you can't
dip?
dip. I don't dip.
You don't dip it?
I sauce it. I don't dip it because I got a weird thing about soggy buns. Like soggy bread drives me nuts.
Really?
Quit snickering over there, Matthew. Just how are the sound levels? That's all. That's your input. I'm just kidding. Yeah, no, I never dipped it. I would sauce a little extra, but I don't like when the bun falls apart in your hand. Like the bun is the delivery mechanism for the meat, for the protein, just like on a hot dog. I don't really like hot dog buns. In fact, I will take a bite of the hot dog and then I'll rip off parts of the bun. I just need a grip.
So you didn't even want the bread on there.
I don't want it. But it's kind of necessary. You can't just eat a pile of meat. These days, people do.
They do.
You used to be able. You couldn't do it. You were a lunatic if you just sat there and ate a pile of meat on a plate. What's the matter with this guy? He's a glutton. But now, because of the carb thing,
Yeah.
the Atkins diet, which you subscribe to,
I do like it.
yeah, the low carb. It's
Low
like
carb.
now you can just have a plate of hot meat.
Yeah.
And
So I'll
it's
eat a
okay.
sandwich at night. I won't eat it during the day.
Okay. I see. It seems like that's
Because
because
like you're
time
shaking
to do
people,
it.
you're shaking people's hands.
Okay.
I don't want to get my hands greasy.
It's like eating ribs for lunch,
Yeah.
or like hot wings or something for lunch. Like you don't do that. See, I thought it was going to be a health thing. I thought you were going to say,
No.
I don't eat carbs during the day because they make me tired.
No.
But like the time to do it is during the day because then you can burn it. You spend the rest of your day sitting on your duff, burning it off.
No.
So you're not you don't live an active life.
Yeah, I do.
You do?
I do. Yeah.
Oh no, that's me. That's right. I'm confused. I'm the one who doesn't live an active life. Won't do it. Won't exercise. If you were a sandwich, I would have thought you'd say meatball.
You meatball?
Yeah, but chicken parm.
I would do chicken.
Checks
parm
out.
If I was a sandwich, yeah.
Yeah, what kind of bread would you have on you?
Italian.
I go Italian.
Yeah, Italian bread for sure. Absolutely. Or like a French baguette sliced open with some cold cut meats on it. I wouldn't be that, but that's what I
Right.
want to eat.
Right.
If I was going to be a sandwich. This is getting weird and awesome, and we gotta see it through. If I was going to,
It all stays in.
If I was,
It all stays in.
Don't you dare edit this out. If I find it on the cutting room floor, that's
Oh,
a
it's
sin.
all in.
If I was going to be a sandwich, hot dog. Do hot dogs count as sandwiches?
I don't want to start this. Is a hot dog a sandwich? Is a hamburger a sandwich?
The hamburger's definitely a sandwich. All right, you're right. You're right.
I don't want to do it.
Okay.
I don't want to do it. I'm not doing it.
What's the? I can't get you on it. I was like, how do I trigger? What a pita? Is a pita a sandwich? I'm not. We're done with sandwiches. Sandwiches are episode 3.
What kind of soup would you be?
Ooh, clam chowder, maybe?
Chili.
Is chili soup?
Depends how watery.
Like, if you have a chili dog, you poured soup on your hot dog?
Well, it's no different than
so-
taking a beef sandwich, a hot beef sandwich, and dipping it.
That's true.
Same thing.
That's true.
That dip is essentially a beef.
You know what a great soup is? Since you asked, French onion.
Oh yeah, it's great with a wet cheese on, with a melted cheese on
Got some
top.
melted mozz
So
on it.
good.
And it comes in
Yeah.
a little crock. That's what. See this. The podcast. What guys in our position out there, fakers, phonies, 40-year-old suburban dads. This is the content they're looking for.
Right.
Soups and sandwiches. Soups and sandwiches. That's an unfilled part of the
It's a niche.
podcast market.
It's
It's
a
a
niche.
niche. It's a niche. Who versus? Where's the fight? Soups and sandwiches. And salads. Get salads out of my
Yeah,
face.
out.
I won't eat salad. I won't do it.
You ever had a hot salad?
A hot
It's a
salad?
thing they do now. They'll
disgusting.
take a wedge of iceberg and they'll grill it,
Uh,
and they'll put
okay.
they'll put a bunch of stuff on it. Like it's a hot wedge salad. It just seems disgusting to me.
I don't know though. If you put like bacon on it,
Well, yeah,
like
it's a
you
wedge salad.
like seared lettuce. I don't know. Might be all right.
I wouldn't do it.
Just do a lettuce wrap burger.
Yeah, that's a thing.
That is a thing.
Jimmy John's, future sponsor. They have the Unwich, which is kind of an interesting thing. It's a lettuce wrapped sandwich. It's not a sandwich. They took the sand out of the bread out, and they call it the Unwich.
Okay.
It's disgusting crap. But people do it. Lettuce wraps. Where do you stand on lettuce wraps?
I don't like them because the lettuce gets soggy.
Eek. So soggy bread you have no problem with, but soggy lettuce?
I won't do it because the lettuce is supposed to be crispy. There's supposed to be
Yeah,
a
it's got to be the
punchback.
crunch.
Don't forget, the only reason to put lettuce on a sandwich is to create a barrier between your mayo
bread
or your mustard
and the
or whatever it is you
condiments.
put in and the condiments and the meat and the bread. That's it.
Yeah.
That's why it exists.
Slimy lettuce then is like wet,
I won't do
slimy
it.
lettuce. Yeah. I hear you. I get it. Believe me,
How do
I
we
get
get
it.
off this topic?
How do we get off soups and sandwiches? That's the point of Who Versus.
Is this what we're doing here?
Who Versus, you know who it's versus? It's versus people that don't like soups and sandwiches. And it's pro people that hate salad, except for possibly hot salad.
Hot salad. Yeah. We should get a couple hot salads in here for the next episode. Just try.
We'll try. We'll blind taste test hot salads.
We'll do that and then we'll have the O'Douls.
Yes. That's the other thing. We're going to start drinking O'Douls and see how many you have to drink to feel anything.
Because there's I don't know if
0.5.
I don't know if people,
0.5% ABV.
Yeah, people don't know that, but there is a tiny amount of alcohol in an O'Doul's.
Yeah.
So 0.5 it is.
0.5. Whereas like a Budweiser is 5%.
Yeah. So let's do the math
I
on that.
can't
We'd have
do
to
math.
drink.
You know I can't do
We'd have to
math.
drink what, like 8 O'Douls to get one? No,
I don't think that's
15
right.
O'Douls. to
Maybe
get
100.
one beer.
It might be 100.
All right,
I
we'll
don't because there's a decimal. I don't know.
yeah,
Math's not my strong suit.
No.
Reading and math.
reading and math.
I'm good at shapes. Just shapes. That's it. Just there's nothing to uncover there. I'm good at shapes.
There is, unlike most people, there is not more to you than what we see.
Yeah.
You're very shallow.
Does that hurt my feelings? No.
No, it's an honest assessment.
Inch,
you are
inch deep
who
and
you-
a mile
Who
wide,
you
as they
present
say.
yourself to be is what people see.
Yeah, I wear it on my sleeve.
Yeah.
They're like, that guy likes sandwiches. He likes soups and shapes.
That's authenticity. That's
That
good.
is.
Yeah. You said that in a very mean way, but that's just being authentic.
Yeah.
No, I did
kinda
not mean it
sounds
in a
like-
mean way. That was real.
Okay.
That was real. Authenticity
I
is
took
the
it
new
as
currency.
an insult, though.
It's well.
And I'm going to keep it.
said
I'm going to
you're
keep
You're
it.
gonna
I
hold
took
on to it?
I'm going to keep it. I'm going to hold on to
You're
it.
gonna hold on to it. It's gonna
I'll
come
get you
back at
back.
me in a
I'll
weird
get
way.
you back.
I know you will.
You're going to be talking sandwiches so much you won't even know what hit you.
You won't let us get off this, will you?
No, sandwiches are what it's all about.
Are you guys hungry? Is that why?
I think so. I think maybe
Yeah, I
that's
think
what
you
it's
guys are
Let's skip
about.
hungry.
breakfast
Yeah. I think that's as good a place as any.
to stop talking
Yeah,
about
just-
soups and
we'll
sandwiches.
end with sandwiches. Next week, do they do them weekly? I don't know how this works,
I don't know either.
but we will have some treats, and they aren't sandwiches. We'll have some maybe a special guest,
Do we want to have a special
an
guest?
odd guest, might. I'll just preview it that.
You want to preview the whole thing?
No,
No.
just leave them wanting. Like one bite of a sandwich, you're always gonna want more.
Did we talk about this last week? Who's a guest we would realistically want to get?
Yeah. Well, we didn't talk about it on the podcast. You touched on it. Did we? Who? All right. Who? If you could have any guest in the world that's alive, and it doesn't have to be conceivable. Like it's like, all right, we're clearly not having Donald Trump on here. Like it's just not going to happen. But if you could have any guest, who would you?
That we can
That
realistically
we could
get?
realistically get.
See, it's a tough one because just by virtue of where we are in this whole podcasting
Yeah, we have
process,
access
it's
to
going to be
people.
pretty low.
Yeah,
Like the standard is
It's like
pretty
my,
low.
Like my neighbor.
I honestly
that
think
low?
it's
Nothing wrong
a
with my neighbor, but like
like a guy who runs a coffee shop
okay,
in the city. I think that would be like where
good.
we're at right now.
yeah, or like a painter.
A painter.
And I don't mean like an artist.
No,
I
no,
mean
like
like a
painting
guy who
walls.
paints houses and
Yeah.
walls.
Lawn care guy.
Well,
We do
I
know
know
lawn care.
one.
We do know a lawn care guy.
Once we cross ran the podcast,
yeah,
cross pollinate.
cross pollinate.
I wonder what a painter would think about sandwiches. I feel like painters eat a lot of sandwiches.
You think so? Their hands are covered in paint. They're eating bread.
That's a good point. Yeah, painters don't eat sandwiches. I take that back. They only soup.
So, a lot of stuff in a thermos.
Yeah,
Maybe they don't care. Like, hold on a second. Are we looking at this like we are guys in suits, or does like a man who works with his hands even care about that?
I don't think he cares about it.
Are
I
we
think we're
that
just
disconnected
I
from
think
reality?
We are. I think we are. I mean, look where we work. I know. This city. What we do.
Also, painters wear gloves when they work too.
That's smart. That's smart. Yeah, I mean, if you've ever worked manual labor, those guys aren't even washing their hands.
Yeah,
Their
that's
immune systems must be awesome.
incredible.
Ours are garbage.
Yeah.
Garbage immune systems. You're sick right now. I can look at you. I can tell.
I don't feel good. You know, I feel the way you look.
That's a good line. Again, hurtful, but
Hurtful.
good line. No sandwiches for you.
All right.
I think we cut it.
We just cut it. How long have we been doing this?
I've been going for about 43 minutes.
This
That
been
is
43
long. Well, a lot of
minutes.
this is getting cut
It's
out.
felt a lot longer.
Some of the things you
Last
said,
one went by really quick. This one was.
that one flew. We were reaching.
I honestly, I'm going to put a lot of blame on myself. I'm a little bit low energy because I'm not feeling well.
too.
So, also not a great sparring partner, but
You did not want to indulge my sandwich.
we talked about
We talked about
for 15
sandwiches for
minutes.
15 minutes. I want more sandwich content.
Should we do the weather?
Yeah.
All right. Where are we going
Where are
to
we
today?
going? I was thinking Davenport, Iowa,
All right, Davenport, Iowa.
right
Let's
there
check,
on the river.
let's check Davenport, Iowa.
Yeah.
Davenport, Iowa.
Now, what app do you use?
Just a weather app.
Like the Weather Channel app or the one that
You
just
want me to
comes
read
on
it,
your
or do
phone?
you want to read it
No,
today? I read it
I'm
last
sorry,
week.
Sorry.
I read it last week. Go ahead. You read it.
Davenport, Iowa is looking pretty good. It's going to be a high of 86, a low of 54. It's currently 67 degrees. Looks cloudy.
All right. So
In
if it's
Davenport.
86, anybody
Davenport,
in
Iowa.
Davenport, Iowa, now is not the right time to reseed your lawn.
No.
A little bit too hot for that. You
Is
have
that
to
too
wait
hot?
Yeah, you want to wait till it's about 80 degrees.
So we're doing lawn care. 67 right now. It's still early morning in Davenport. They're in a different time zone. What if you were going out and you're a worker, let's say you're a bank teller in Davenport, Iowa, what sandwich is in your lunchbox right now?
I'm gonna go. Well, your lunchbox
Egg salad is the right
is
answer.
egg salad with like a muffin or a donut on the side.
Donut.
Yeah,
Donut on the side. A donut kicker. That's a good idea.
yeah,
And we're going to end it there.
yeah.
Thanks for your time.